everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Ben Thomas Show. This is Toy Hunt number 4. I am still looking for these Adventures Continue Batman toy lines. I'm hoping to find one inside here, but this is a really cool store. It's called Another Dimension Comics. Now, they don't just sell comics here. This is one of the only stores in Calgary, Alberta where you get a chance to see Hot Toys on display, you get to see Sideshow collectible statues, as well as figures, comics obviously, slabbed items, you name it, this store probably has it. So thanks for stopping by. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, and let's get our asses into this store and take a look to see what kind of selection they might have. Now when you first walk through the door, you can see that this is only a portion of this location. Now I think I see a life-size Hulk over there, but we're going to get there. Obviously they've got some of their quick grab comics right at the front here. I personally didn't see anything on the rack that I wanted to really look at all that badly. I'm mostly here to look at figures and those types of collectibles. We have the bat up on top, that's really cool. This Hulk statue is very beautiful in person. One of the challenges of this location is there is a lot of things behind glass. So I do apologize, you're going to see me in the reflection a couple of times. Not all the shots are going to be ideal, just because again, reflection is a thing, but it's the way she goes. Now I do like that they have the new arrival pops on hand right at the front. If you're a pop collector, you can find them pretty quick. I like these reaction figures at the front. Again, these smaller stores, in my opinion, just have so much better of a selection. We saw a lot of these types of figures at Toys R Us, but this one has like the Bionic Woman, Nightmare Before Christmas figures, Terminator, Sarah Connor, like Breaking Bad, all of the cool stuff. Now these comics at the front do catch my eye, just because of some of the older school looking covers that are on them. This poor poster has some crazy sun damage, but Fantastic Four is going to be making a huge comeback, I think, in the next few years. So I'm very excited to see the artwork that has spawned from all of that. Now we're starting to get into some of the aisles of figures. We have seen a couple of these at some of the other locations. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on toys that I think we've seen now twice. I'll stop a little bit more on stuff that I feel like we have not seen. But I'm still going to give you guys the skim view, right? I want you to be able to have kind of a feel for what this store is like. Because I'm not a pop collector, this store does have a ton of pops. Again, I'm really only going to focus on some of the ones that I think are kind of eye-catching or cool, maybe exclusive, if I see any along the way. I've always wanted to get into pop collecting. I just feel like it's a bit of a slippery slope. Like if I start buying them, I'm going to want, as many as I can find. There's so many favorite characters that I have. I don't even know how I would develop my collection around it. I do like that the store has high racks that also have slightly more valuable collectibles. So you can tell when you walk in, if you've got an eye on a certain level of quality or a price you're kind of wanting to spend, you're going to see it on the high racks first. I like that they have things like Boba Fett Monopoly. It wasn't a great fan reaction to the show, so I wonder how popular that particular Monopoly board has been. I personally did like the show, but I also recognize that Boba Fett is older, and that we had kind of a preconceived notion of who Boba Fett was supposed to be. So it may have failed on that expectation a little bit. Now, Trailer Park Boys comic stands out to me. Shauna, my fiance, absolutely loves Trailer Park Boys. She watches that shit, I'm not kidding, on repeat. It's what she listens to as she is going to sleep at night. Trailer Park Boys. So I may come back for that comic book, we'll see. The Black Series wall here is not too bad. I'll get down to it in a second. Again, some of these unique collectibles are slightly more expensive options positioned at the top. Let me know if you guys are looking for anything specifically Black Series wise. It does seem like Canada has a pretty good selection just between the 4 locations that I've been to so far. And there are at least a dozen more great toy stores in town that I'm excited to show you guys. But I would say this particular location is by far one of my favorites. Got Yoda in the back. Nice. I like the packaging on these Kenner style. Again, nothing here that we haven't necessarily seen. I think I've seen that Grogu though. He's really tiny. Holy crap. Oh, very nice. Who doesn't want a Han Solo stuck in carbonite ice cube tray? I mean, that's fucking awesome. R2-D2, that would be one heck of a cube. I don't know what you would use that in, like maybe a juice jug or something. Can you imagine melting an ice cube R2-D2 into a juice jug? You guys can see the store goes for a while. So we're going to be here for, I'd say, a good 40 minutes. Every end cap has something cool. Every end cap has, like, something that you want to see, at least for me. I like some of these old school looking figures. These are something I would not collect on my own terms. Jesus, look at this hair. It's always what I'm worried about rooted hairstyles. Shazam, nice. What do we got up here? Oh, Game of Thrones, okay. Star Trek Kurt. That actually looks quite a bit like Chris Pine, I will give it that. That's a good head sculpt. These Game of Thrones figures also do stand out to me a little bit. Oh, this Pennywise though. That is NECA, I believe, yeah. I like the open style boxes like that. That Tyrion is kind of cute. Robb Stark, not a figure I feel like I see very often. Obviously, Jon Snow gets a lot of the love. The Shape of Water figure, interesting. The eggs. 2 head sculpts though, that's pretty solid. Ooh, the Rocketeer. Very nice. I've seen some great 1/6 scale representations of the Rocketeer now. I think on Big Bretta's channel, if you guys get a chance to watch Big Bretta, pretty sure he just did a review on the Rocketeer. King Kong. Gotta love it. And a slightly more colorful option. I actually like this one better, I think. That's cool. Shine the right lighting on that, that would look amazing. Aliens. One of the exomorphs. That's cool, actually. These boxed figures with the flap opening, it's a great way to show the figure, but also have an art box that you think you'd actually want to keep, at least for me. Back to the Future 2. I've got a 1/6 scale Marty McFly on the way, so I'm really excited about him coming. Love Back to the Future, easily one of my favorite movies of all time. That is cool. That it's a Doc Brown inside this box, but it's got the newspaper cover on the front. I really like that box. I would display that art box just as artwork. That's funny. Spawn always catches my eye, except I don't think I'd ever honestly start collecting it. Planet of the Apes reminds me of when I was a kid. We used to have like little picnic type dinners in the living room watching Planet of the Apes movies. That probably ages me a little bit, but Dracula, some baseball players, that's kind of cool. Damn, that's a jacked Mike Myers. Or Michael Myers, I should say. Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel, holy cow. We're getting into some of the comics now. Like I mentioned to you, this guy's is going to be a little bit more of a figure video and collectible video, so I may come back to the store at some point and go a little bit more of a deep dive into the comic books that they have. But like figures like this are what I came in for. You know, Hush Batman, a 3-pack? That's awesome. $60 on that price is not bad. Batcar. Got the 2 different styles of the motorcycle used in the new Batman film. These guys are almost 1/6 scale. They're a little bit small, but if you really loved the new Batman film and you're just itching to have a figure that's in your collection, I think if you put that Batman in the right spot, it might look pretty good, especially if you collect 1/6 scale. That grappling gun is cool in the box and in the picture, but I honestly think, it would get put to the side as thinking it's just another piece of plastic. Green Lantern really stands out. I like the vibrancy of the green. Harley Quinn, beautiful. A bit more of a cartoonish face on that figure though, which is interesting. I wonder if they're stylizing it over or like around the animated series kind of style. Seemed like it. Some of these guys are unique to this location. I don't think I've seen some of them at other stores. Oh, here we go. We've got an animated series figure here. Harley Quinn. Now this is the first generation of the animated series line that came out. The cost on this is about $40 for such a small figure. I'm going to keep looking around because she's not on my top to buy list, but I do have the Joker and I've got Batman and Robin, so Harley Quinn might go really well with her, or with him I should say. So we'll get back to it. Again, more classic packaging, kind of cool stuff. I don't think I've seen this color for Batman Beyond before, so that's unique. I like that one. And of course the Arkham Asylum video games, or the Batman series of video games for PlayStation. Easily some of my favorite video games of all time. Now I don't think I'd collect this size of them specifically, at least not from my collection, but they're fun to look at. I will give it that. That Flash pops out in my mind, but I'll get back to it. Jim Gordon. Yeah, that's a decent Flash. Designer series. I haven't heard of that one yet. A little Green Arrow. Stephen Amell was a great Green Arrow. I will give him that. I feel like he got the short end of the stick with some script writing, potentially, but that wasn't his fault. I think he was a great person for the role. Some of the racks are just so full here. I feel like you'd never get a chance to see everything. It's one of those stores that we almost need to do multiple trips to, depending especially on if there's any requests from the community. If you guys want me to look for something, just let me know. Some of these things are really cool, like Hulk poster art by Alex Ross. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm really digging this. I like the size of it. Some Jim Lee art. Very nice. That Hulk is approaching. Look at it. I'm very excited to see that up close. I love the way they have their comic books displayed here. They're so colorful. Just rack upon rack, but it's like this outside wall that I really like. That cover is amazing. Batman lit sign, very nice. Be cool in a man cave. I don't necessarily have space in my own, but I would respect anybody's man cave who has one. Or woman cave, if you like Batman and you are a woman. Definitely a thing. Some extra pops floating around. Ninja Turtles. Oh, here we go. That is really cool. I don't know if the video even gives it justice as to how big this actually is, but I'm just under 6'2". This has to be 8 feet tall, 7.5 feet tall. This thing is towering above me in comparison. Now that turtle stands out to me. I loved the original television show, of course, with the Ninja Turtles, the animated series. One of my favorite television shows of all time. Anything Ninja Turtles stands out to me now as a result. There's one of those Eastman Laird figures. We've seen a couple of those, so again, I'm not going to stop on anything too long, guys. Stan Lee, very Nice. Seen that one before, seen a couple of these before. These are cool, some of the larger like anthology style comic books that you can get. I've always liked the anthology concept because collecting individual comic books for me was always really challenging. Where I lived as a kid, we didn't really have much access to stores like this. So anytime I got my hands on a comic, if there was a continuation in the story, I would just lose track. At least with anthology style, you can get so many of the books all in one go, which is phenomenal. Now, I've had to cut out some of the background music in this store, guys, because it was a little bit loud and I was worried about copyright. That Godzilla set is kind of cool. I'd love to open that up and see what's inside. Oh, I've never seen this Batman before. They have a couple of those Batman Beyond style figures in this location that I've never seen before, which is cool. Doctor Strange. Just went and saw Doctor Strange again the other night. Very good movie. Hot Wheels style cars, cool. Now we're getting into their back section. Now their back section is jammed with pops. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, guys. I hope that's okay. If anybody wants me to come back for pops specifically, just let me know in the comments down below, and I will make a special trip to come and look at this pop collection, because there are quite a few here that I don't think I've seen at some of the other locations, which is cool. But I'm a little pop blind at this point. They all start to kind of blend together for me a little bit. Certain ones stand out, like South Park to me always stands out, just because I love South Park. So always willing to take a look there. But again, I get a little pop blind and I start to recognize that I'm not sure if we've looked at these ones before. So if there's anything you want me to specifically look for or come and tour the pop collectibles section, just let me know and I'll make a special trip. Some of these still stand out to me though, I'm not gonna lie. Like, some of them are pretty cool. Do you guys have a favorite pop in your collection if you still collect them? With there being so many, I think for me rarity or exclusivity would definitely help me rank my pop collection if I had one. I have a couple pops floating around my house. Like, I have Venomized Hulk, and I have a Star Trek Lieutenant Worf. It's just kind of cool. Oh, and a few Deadpools, actually, now that I think about it. Oh, look at this Rainbow Mickey. This guy is kind of funky looking. Oh, it's Dr. Evil. Okay. 50% off. Not too bad. Look at the brain. Ooh, I like that. I am not sure I've heard of this company before. I like the box art though. I don't know if I like it enough though that I would actually keep it. I probably would. Who am I kidding? I don't like when plastic has an opportunity to get damaged on the outside though. It's one of the reasons I liked those boxes that we saw at the front of the store that had the flap on the front. I liked that. These are cool but a little too toyetic, cheaper looking. We got some more statues coming up here now and some different scales of busts and stuff, so that's kind of neat. Everything in this case is 30% off. Is that because you've already taken it out of the box? I am not a fan of that about this location. Now they do have quite a bit of stock in the background. Don't get me wrong. And they have quite a bit of stock in the back room that you don't get a chance to see. I have bought one Hot Toys from this location, and that was my Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett. And I was concerned because I saw him in a display case here, and I was thinking, I don't want to buy one that's already been taken out of the box. Thankfully, they had extra stock in the back that had never been opened, so that was good. I didn't get a chance to ask the owner here if everything that we see that is opened does get reduced in price. So if they end up watching this video, I encourage them to comment about that, because I think it would be helpful for people to make their buying decisions, especially for the more expensive collectibles that we see. Because a lot of these boxes say that these are on display, essentially. Yeah, see, statues are on display in the cabinet. Does that mean the ones that are coming in this box are? Or do they have extra stock in the back? Because this is a lot of statue boxes in this cupboard. And I like new. For me, if I'm going to spend this kind of money, I want it untouched. I don't care if it's been in a glass case. If there's been an opportunity that dust could fall on it, I would not buy it. Unless it's a marked down price. I think that would be the exception that I would have there. Because there are some cool statues and really cool busts in this cabinet. That Brandon Routh looks pretty cool. Now, the owner did tell me that today is a bit of a store organizing day. I did come pretty early in the morning so that I wouldn't have any, people in the store necessarily to contend with. But just so you're aware, the store sometimes is set up a little bit nicer than this. They're just restocking and reorganizing, which I appreciate. It keeps the store fresh every time I come in. I've never seen this section before. Coloring books of comic art. If you're a huge comic book artist fan and you don't know how to necessarily draw, but you want to bring these illustrations to life, I think that's kind of a cool way to do it. I like the Luke Skywalker cardboard cutout in the back there. That's a cool looking Hulk. Ooh, I like that Darth Vader bust. The Grogu's pretty cute as well. A couple of different Harley Quinn options. That front one with the black and white face and hair looks pretty cool. Quite a few different Wonder Women here. Some Batman down here. Cool. The prices seem a little high on these, but I haven't had a chance to do much in the way of market research for some of these figures. This is some of the first times I've even seen some of these. So let me know if you guys think some of this pricing is high, keeping in mind, of course, for my American friends, that this is Canadian pricing, so just factor that into your conversion rate if you're looking at any of the tags. The Green Lantern is pretty nice. Green Lantern is one of my favorite properties. I'd love to have a Green Lantern in my collection of 6 scale figures, at least. Some of those I haven't heard of. We're going to get into some Disney statues here now. The Cruella de Vil looks pretty good. I'll give it that. Not something I would collect, but I do appreciate the artwork. Pretty decent. Do any of you guys collect just busts or like mini busts like this? I'd be curious to see that collection. Because I think if done right, they could look really, really cool. I like figures because of their ability to move and pose, but I know some people don't love posing, and so some of these give you a really great representation of the character you might just love without having to worry about that. Like that Venom really stands out to me, and I like that Thanos with a kind of classic look to him. Got Gwenpool, very nice. Don't love that one very much. Another Shazam up there, but didn't really look like Zachary Levi, I'm not gonna lie. So we'll continue on. A whole strange section here, which makes sense, of course. Wow, look at the wonky eyes on that figure. That is terribly painted. That's not the store's fault. That's just a bad figure paint. That sucks. The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. The fuck is that? Oh, I like that. Captain America bike comes with it. That's nice. Loki and Thor. Decent. Mjolnir. Not something I would probably have in my own collection, but I do appreciate it. The Marvel Legends always stand out to me. There's so many. It's one of those things like Pops. I don't even know where I would actually start. That Nimrod is pretty cool. I like the Galactus pop. Again, they have pops all over this store. Some good ones though. Agent Carter there, that's nice. And down below is just all comics there, guys. So again, we're going to move on mostly past the comics in search of mostly just figures here. Shield Helicarrier, that's pretty cool as like a toy option. This thing looks like it's from the 60s, 70s. Doesn't necessarily look like a new school toy, which I appreciate. That looks kind of just like a kid's toy, so we'll move on. Up here we got Super Deadpool, very nice. Firestarter. Oh, another Monopoly. I should get myself a superhero Monopoly. I think that's cool. I like the idea of that. Even the Boba Fett one, actually. Again, I know it wasn't a fan favorite, but I liked it. I think the Monopoly might be kind of cool. Speaking of Boba Fett. Cool cutouts. If I had a really big display room, I'd get cutouts like that. Like, I like the Darth Vader standing there. That would look cool with a stormtrooper down a hallway or one of those things. In your house, even if you could make it look cool. That Hulk really stands out to me. This is not the first time I've seen this figure. So I apologize if I featured it before, but green is my favorite color. So as you may have recognized a trend, I like green figures. WandaVision. Great show. And I really liked the Scarlet Witch in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I cannot wait for her 6-scale figure to come out. I would hope probably for that one for it to actually not even be rooted hair unless they can do a bit of a hybrid under the crown. But decent amount of Marvel Legends here, but a lot of these we have seen already before, guys. So again, I'm just not going to spend a ton of time. We're getting close to the Sideshow collectible section now, as well as the Hot Toys section. So stay tuned because that is just around the corner coming up here. So this back section of the store definitely has, after this Legends section, more of the expensive stuff in the location, including the slabbed comics, the graded comics from Cgc. As I said, Sideshow statues, Hot Toys, a bunch of good stuff back here. So we're getting there pretty quick, but I want to make sure you guys get to see just kind of a varied collection here. Especially if you live in town and you're thinking about making a trip over to this store, I definitely recommend it. If you're a comic head, it is going to be really hard to find something that you can't insist on buying yourself or finding the budget for. Be prepared to spend some money in here though, because there is like too much cool shit. That White Vision has stood out to me a bunch of times. I'm going to 100% end up buying that at some point. Not today. I'm still kind of hoping we come across more animated series figures, but we're getting into the expensive lines, like I said, here soon, so I'm starting to think that they don't have any, but that's okay. These Kenner style packages just are amazing. I think if you had a really well done display wall with them, that would look really good. Those are ones that I would leave on the card and just display on the card. Mario, actually, El Profesoro on YouTube, definitely check him out. He had a great Star Wars display wall of carded figures previously, and I thought that was really cool. So every time I see packages like that, I think of walls like that. This Thanos on Throne says display only, so that's unfortunate. Not that I'd have the money to buy them, but how cool does that look? And then above it, we've got Hulk fighting the Hulkbuster. Damn, the definition and the muscles there, like just the paintwork, that looks really, really good. I am digging that. This Thanos, though, that would be one heck of a statement piece in somebody's collection. Can you imagine? Some of these old school comic books, stuff that not necessarily I think I've ever heard of, or but kind of cool to see. Some cool covers. Green Lantern light, that's nice. I like that. Here are some of the slabbed comic sections. So Again, if you guys see anything here that you are looking for, this place is called Another Dimension Comics in Calgary, Alberta. So look them up. They may be able to ship out to you. A few stand out to me here as being really nice looking covers, and for anything kind of under the 9.6 rating, it looks like the pricing is really good. I do like the look of some of these, yes. So far in my own collection, I don't actually have any graded comics. It's something that I've looked into doing, but sending them from Canada, unless you're really confident that there's going to be a reason to do it value-wise, it's hard to justify. Look how cool this Chewbacca looks. Now, some of the lighting in here is a little on the harsh side. In person, you can see into these cases absolutely no problem. Again, I do apologize for some of the glare here. Not much I can do about it, guys. I couldn't ask the owner to open all the cases. That just didn't make sense. But some of these statues are on fire. Like Danger Girl. Oh, Elektra. Very nice. I like the coloration on the outfit there. And the base she's standing on, the diorama base, is really nice. I don't know who this character is. Who knows who this character is? I'm sure one of you guys does. Hulkbuster. Not as much of a fan of that one as the other one that we saw fighting the Hulk. Got some art boxes up top, no doubt with some figures in some of them. Batman and Robin. We got Superman. We have some First Order Troopers. First Order Troopers just don't seem like they're worth the cost, in my opinion. This is a Batman they've had on display here quite a few times, actually. And I dig it. 100%. Would I buy it? Probably not. I don't think it's right for my collection. Gotta love the Adam West Batman series. Surfing on surfboards. That's phenomenal. We've got Dr. Doom. Oh, I'm so sorry for the glare here, guys. Not much I can do again. We've got Darth Maul down here below. A lot of Harleys in this store, actually. We've got Leia, Han, and Luke. Very nice. Carnage looks pretty cool. And look how much more in scale to Venom he is. Holy cow, these statues are very naked. I would not have that in my collection. It would be tough to justify to the fiance. This one is really cool, though. The Hulkbuster up on top. This is actually, I think, one of the first times I've stood beside a Hulkbuster. I did not realize how big that figure is. That was cool. I mean, obviously it fits a 6 scale Iron Man bulk, right? But I know it's not a full figure, but still pretty cool. They have a lot of statues this time. Last time I was here, I felt like their Hot Toys collection was bigger, and they didn't have so many statues, but some of these are really, really nice. Personally, I still like the 1/6 scale size by far the best. But these definitely pop. If I had a house that had room for a space that maybe just had statues in it, that'd be really cool. I love the color of animated series. Superman, Batman, Turtles, everything like that. So again, these guys all really, really pop for me. You can see the bright lighting that they have above, which I appreciate. Look at this endoskeleton head. That is very cool. T700. Spider-Man and Gwen. Actually, that might have been Black Cat. I don't think that was Gwen. Captain America. Very nice. Ooh, I like that Catwoman outfit. That was one of my favorite ones to play with in the Arkham series games, actually. Just kind of cool and unique flair on the purple. I think that's nice. Oh, we got a Thanos up on top. Again, I don't think I've ever stood this close to a Thanos before. He is a really big 1/6 scale figure. Jesus. Neon Tech, not surprised that's still on the display. They got the Spider-Man on display, but again, like, if these are some of the last of their stock, do they mark their pricing down? I have friends like John over at Collecting Weekly who, you know, he keeps a lot of his stuff pristine in box. Like, he doesn't even unbox them. So I don't think he would ever buy half of these if they were out on display like this. I can't imagine he would anyways. I mean, John, if you're listening, correct me if I'm wrong, buddy, in the comments. But it does make for a fun store to come into, though. So I don't want it to sound like criticism. Again, I did not have a chance to ask the owner if they mark these ones down. Hopefully they do. But in terms of a comic book store where you want to see some really cool shit, this is definitely one you need to stop at if you're in Calgary. That Poison Ivy is really cool color. Look at this one too. Wow. I really, really like the look of that face sculpt. Joker. He's always having such a good time. It's a cool base. Good paint job. Anybody need a Tinkerbell? Beautiful color on that cape. That's a really spicy looking xenomorph. That is nice. These just look too big and not detailed enough, so I'm not loving that. I did not expect them to have a Bat Pod and a Venom on display out here. I'm glad they're not taken out of the boxes. I wish that Venom was, though, because I've really wanted to see what that looks like in person. He's been in and out of my shopping cart on Sideshow a bunch of times. Here it's saying $600 for him from the location, which is a little bit more than I'd want to spend, but not a ton. Like that, they're not making a huge profit on some of these Hot Toys, getting them from Sideshow or getting them from other distributors, I can't imagine. But their selection is pretty good. They've got the Flash down there. They've got the zombie Deadpool, Thor, Harley Quinn, Ant-Man. Very nice. They got the Sideshow Wolverine up there and the Red Skull. That's cool. The Miles Morales, that's nice that they've got that already. Wow. Oh, and they've got the Blake from the Christopher Nolan films. And the Bat Signal. That is cool. Punisher War Machine, very nice. A couple of Star Wars figures here. I would love to work in a store like this where this is all I got to look at all day. Damn. Got the quarter scale statues here. It's the first time I've seen this Mandalorian in person as well. That is nice. I will give it that. Lady Deadpool kicking the Deadpool skull with dynamite in its mouth. That's amazing. That's amazing. That Mando really pops. I like that a lot. That poor Stan Lee, I feel like, is destined to be a peg warmer, though. Prince of Persia. Very cool. Unique. Something I'd never seen in a comic store before, I don't think. Prince of Persia, the original game, was one of my favorite games of all time, honestly. So, didn't love the Jake Gyllenhaal film, though. Not gonna lie, don't think I would collect it specifically. These little guys are cool. They feel a little pricey to me, but again, I don't know what they're made of or who makes them specifically. I have some more Cgc Comics here. I'm going to go through these pretty quick because none of these look like standout titles to me specifically. Nothing that I'm looking to collect anyways. Yeah. Star Wars 9.4, that's not bad. I think if I was going to collect slabbed items, though, it would be mostly 9.8s or above. I don't know if I would... I shouldn't say that. I guess if there are certain ages of comics that I've wanted that just come in a lower grade because there's just no way they could have been brand new quality all this time without spending an absolute fortune, then I would adjust my thinking on that. But if it's a slightly newer age, I think probably within even the last 15 to 20 years of comics, I would want to try and have one that's 9.8 or higher if I was going to put it into my collection. I like that they highlight here that they have some limited edition variants down below. So if you're looking for certain limited edition items, you know where to come. And then we're kind of basically up to the front desk here. Now again, they have a whole downstairs that's dedicated just to some of their warehouse space. So they may have things that I just don't even realize yet. This store might be one that I come back to at some point, especially when the stock changes. Oh, look at Thor looking at me from around the wall there. The Predator head on the wall, that's fantastic. Can you imagine that instead of like a deer head? But yeah, that's the store here, guys. Again, that Hulk out there looks fucking awesome. And random collectibles that I find here, like Homelander and some of the awesome Hot Toys and Sideshow statues and comic books and variants and all of the things. If you guys are in Calgary, Another Dimension Comics, come check these guys out. I'm going to pick this up for Shauna. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and thanks for watching, everybody.